All right. Think we got it going now.
Is that it? Are we live?
We are live.
We are live. Welcome back to another episode of Town2weekly. I'm your host, Jason Leach, along with your other host, Mark Gorman, who looks like he's applying for The Walking Dead today. Sorry for the looks.
Okay.
But Mark's going to start us off. What we got going on?
Well, we want to talk about the debate. Of course, we had the big debate on Monday.
The big masturbate.
Well, it was a debate, all right. Now, I got a little video to kind of play us into it. We can get it. It was a foreign debate, so it's going to...
Very boring.
Oh, yeah, but Romney did what he needed to do.
We'll get into that.
Let's go ahead and play this video.
Yeah.
Now, let me line the video up. We got, what's his name? I can't think of it. David Letterman?
David Letterman and Rachel Maddow.
Yeah.
I hate her.
All right. They're talking after the debate. They're kind of going over what they thought about it. So let's go ahead.
Yeah, play that video.
But here's what upset me last night. This playing fast and loose with facts. And the President Obama cites the op-ed piece that Romney wrote about Detroit, let him go bankrupt. And last night he brings it up again. No, Governor, you said let him go bankrupt, blah, 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 let him go bankrupt, blah. And Mitt said, no, check the thing. Now, I don't care whether you're Republican or Democrat, you want your president to be telling the truth. You want the contender to be lying. And so when we found out today, or soon thereafter, that President Obama was not telling the truth about what was excerpted from that op.
Yeah, we got it. Okay, so David Letterman is saying how disappointed he was in Obama for not telling the truth in the debate. Not surprising to me, but what's surprising is the fact that we have a liberal who loves Obama saying, I'm disappointed. Now, to me, that reflects what's going on, because I've been talking to different Democrats who voted for Obama in 2008. We're so happy, and then this year they're like, I don't know if I want to even vote.
Correct. But the thing that video doesn't show is how Rachel Maddow walks back his statements. The media is so good at trying to take exactly what Obama said and twist it a little bit to make it sound like he was actually right in what he was saying. Yeah. When in all honesty, during that debate, he was incorrect.
Yeah.
I want to get a little bit further into this debate that happened on foreign policy, which most people, I won't say most people, my personal opinion, it did absolutely nothing to change anybody's mind about which way they're going to vote.
But that's what I wanted. I wanted Mitt Romney to go in there. And I've said it. You can go back. You can check the transcripts.
Check the transcripts.
I said that Mitt Romney needs to go in there and be calm, be cool and collective, and don't attack the president. Just get it over with. Let the president talk and let him mess up.
Romney acted more like the president than the president.
Yeah.
Okay, Obama was a little bit of an ass, in my personal opinion. When they started talking about the ships being decreased, Romney came and says, we have these things called craft carriers where airplanes land on them, and we have these other things where the ships, they can go underwater called submarines. Yeah. Like, no shit, Sherlock Holmes. Are you serious?
Women don't like that. They do not like that in a man. They don't like that kind of attitude, and that's going to that's why the gap between women is starting to come down.
And we're going to get a little bit further into the poll numbers that have recently come out. What else did you think about did you think there's a point where, and we're going to talk about this a little bit later in the show, because I keep talking about this Libya incident because I think it's so important for people to realize it. But Romney did not take on Obama when it came to that consulate attack.
Yes, and a lot of people wanted him to do that. And I can see why. And me too, to an extent, but I understand why he didn't, because he didn't want to keep being that guy that pushes the issue. He didn't want to be that guy that's what I'm running on. No. He said, you know what, the people know about it now, let it be a news issue, not a political issue. And that was a smart move on Romney, but unfortunately, now we found out that the president knew about it 4 hours within the attack, what was going on, and didn't do anything.
Actually, the emails came out 2 hours. 2 hours.
Right, so they knew what was going on. They were watching it, but didn't do anything. But unfortunately, the media is not going to put that to the front lines, because you know what was on the news this morning? They were talking about...
My apologies, But
they were talking about Snooki being married to some guy that I don't care about. They were talking to the guy who created the Dyson vacuum. Things... They spent, 3 minutes on issues that I personally don't care about because they don't control my life. But yet, when it came to the president, they spent maybe 30 seconds, 45 seconds talking about, hey, he actually knew what was going on when it was going on.
Well, I can say this. These master debaters are finally over. No more debates going on. We've had 4, 3 with the presidential debates and one with vice presidential debate. And the sad part about it is Obama and Biden team did nothing to help their poll numbers in these debates. Romney's the only person with these debates that have seen a significant trend in an increased momentum compared to the Obama-Biden ticket.
Agreed. Well, look at it. First debate, Obama was asleep. Second debate, Obama was on his toes with Romney. Romney was with him. Third debate, Obama seemed more aggressive.
Too aggressive.
Yeah. And Romney was like, look, I had my moment. I'm letting you be the aggressive guy.
Correct.
And just sat back and let him do all the talking.
You know, I've been watching a lot of the news, and the Republican strategists out there said Romney should have come out swinging in the last foreign policy debate. But I think when we look at the bigger picture, Romney did exactly like you said he was supposed to do. He didn't look like a warmonger. Mm-hmm. He flip-flopped on one issue when it came to the getting out of Afghanistan timeline. But he stood behind. He agreed with the president's timeline. And I think the reason why he did that is because once the president's already, signed in a policy like that, and the troops think they're coming home at a certain date, you don't take that. You don't sit there and railroad that morale that they're going to be able to come back home. Yeah. And I thought, again, Romney looked presidential, Obama looked childish.
Okay. Something that Romney did in the debate that impressed me, first 5 minutes, Mr. President, I want to congratulate you for killing Osama bin Laden. That was the smartest move he could do because he took that ball out of his court and everybody looked at him like, oh, wow, he's acknowledging it. And he's thanking the president for doing it. Now, that took his thunder away when he brought it up. Correct. Which he did bring it right up.
Which he did. I killed Osama bin Laden, which you didn't. The military did, but you executed the order, and I appreciate that, Mr. President. Will, you have any thoughts on this debate that happened on foreign policy?
Well, I just thought it was interesting. Of course, the news was, various news entities were, playing it off like Obama won, Romney won. It was what it was. I mean, I think they both had strong points in it, but overall, I think Romney did it.
I think another thing is that Romney didn't press the issue on Libya because the second debate, where the moderator agreed with President Obama. So he figured, you know what, I already pushed it in that one. I'm not going to push it on this one.
Yeah. Well, we'll come back to the debate a little bit more, but the debate kind of pushes into this next video that I think that we both kind of discovered that we really like. When Obama's attacking Mitt Romney on this whole, we don't use horses and bayonets anymore.
And to give you more of a generalization, these two videos we're going to show you are new political ads that have come out. One by the GOP, one by Super PAC with Clint Eastwood. To get an idea of what your opinion is on these debates. Now, I've always said, or not debates, but the campaign ads, but I've always said, with these campaign ads, all you have to do is have Barack Obama, in his own words, saying all these things, and then turn around 4 years later and disprove of them. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And that's what they're going to do. Play this first video.
We have a fan in the audience.
Oh, congratulations, welcome.
Let me tell you what you don't deserve. You don't deserve a bunch of name calling. You gotta name this condition, Romnesia. You don't deserve a bunch of mudslinging, but sketchy deeds. You won't get that from my campaign. You might have Romnesia. Thank goodness somebody's finally cracking down on Big Bird. Big Bird, Big Bird. Elmo's made a run for the border. You might have a case of Romnesia.
Well, Governor, we also have fewer horses and bayonets.
If you don't have a record to run on, you make a big election about small things. It's a bunch of binders. Big Bird.
Bayonets. A game of battleship.
Obama is acting like the guy who's behind in this debate.
Obama was slashing, was personal, was cutting.
At times sounding almost dismissive.
Seriously, this is all the Obama people have, the binders.
Elmo's gotta watch out.
This is an act of desperation.
Every single question, he felt like he couldn't just answer the question. He had to attack his rival.
Attacking me is not an agenda. America must lead.
Smart line.
Good.
And for that to happen, we have to strengthen our economy here at home. You can't have 23 million people struggling to get a job.
Okay, that's good.
So that's good. So that's the first campaign.
Mitt Romney's line was good. Attacking me is not going to solve the issue.
Well, you don't attack. You attack in the first two debates. You can attack your opponent in the first two debates and call them out on their policy that they pushed either through Governor Romney's governorship or through President Obama being president. But you don't attack each other in a foreign policy debate. That's when you're supposed to be united on a strong front of behind America and her strength. So,
well, to add to that real quick, I would like to say that I was very happy that Obama did not say Romnesia in the debate, because if he did, that would have blown it out, and that would have picked up. And
no, but his two most famous words now that I say is now the forefront of his political campaign is not true.
Not true.
Not true.
Not true.
Not true.
Check the channel.
What? Not true.
Check the records.
All right, let's play the other one. This is a super PAC with Clint Eastwood, and I thought it was a pretty effective ad too.
What do you think about that?
In the last few years, America's been knocked down. 23 million people can't find full-time work. And we borrow $4 billion every single day, much of it from China. When someone doesn't get the job done, you gotta hold them accountable. Obama's second term would be a rerun of the first, and our country just couldn't survive that. We need someone who could turn it around fast, and that man is Mitt Romney. There's not much time left, and the future of our country is at stake.
American Crossroads is responsible for the content of this advertising.
So that's from American Crossroads. Again, Clint Eastwood's been a pretty outspoken there in this election coming up. And there's a lot of other stars that are now starting to come out and support Romney.
I personally am not a big fan of using Hollywood to promote candidates.
Well, Obama does it.
Yeah, well, that doesn't mean it makes us right. I don't disagree that we do it. I just hate the fact that we idolize.
But you know why they do it, though?
To get the base of the people who don't pay attention to politics.
Correct. It's because people relate with those stars.
Which is stupid.
It's stupid, but it's
smart.
very effective.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's stupid and smart, I know. Will, what's your opinion about the two ads that we just heard?
Well, I think, everyone, just my opinion, stars have, their says, and I think this is one of their ways to do it is, since they're stars, they're actors, they want to do everything they can, not only get their self in the public view, but to show their public view. And I think commercials like this is one way for them to do it, especially Clint Eastwood. I mean, after all, he's been all over the place lately.
Correct.
And then on top of that, too, Obama has a lot of supporters, too, not only in the movie industries, like popping up Obama videos, but you also look at YouTube, a lot of stuff on YouTube on Obama and other stars are kind of speaking, like Will Smith, for instance, was speaking out for Obama. But also, I was just going to let you all know, too, Taylor Bigface was wondering what was the difference in the TV ratings between the 4 debates, which is kind of
the difference was the first debate's the most important. The first debate had more numbers than the other 3 debates that combined. Oh, I would say combined, excuse me, but had more numbers on the first debate than the 3 that came after. Yeah. And people watch that first debate and they make up their mind usually in that first debate.
Yeah, and to answer your question, Henley 20. Mike Huckabee used Chuck Norris, and I don't think it had that great of an effect. I really don't. I don't think celebrities. I think it's more of like, oh wow, that celebrity is a Republican or that celebrity is a Democrat. Other than that, that's all it goes.
Well, again, when it came to the political ads, which you can find more of those political ads at politicallyscrewed.com, it's my favorite picks, and I think the most effective ones. And again, the ads that you'll see on that website are Obama in his own words.
Yeah.
Flat out.
Agreed.
I'd also like to, this is just my opinion, I would actually love to hear from the military, like someone in the military.
Good point.
If it's overseas or something, just to hear their voice.
And if you're in the military or any other else who wants to call in, the phone number is 678-395-8609.
Don't be scared.
Don't be scared. We'll talk to you. We won't go too hard on you. So Big Bird, binders, and bayonets.
Big Bird, binders, and bayonets.
Nobody's making fun of Bill Clinton when he had all those binders full of
real quick. Obama wasn't wrong. He never said that we don't use bayonets anymore. He never said we don't use horses. Because the military uses both to this day.
Yeah, still do. Maybe not as much as they do.
Exactly, and that's what everybody's getting on Obama about this bayonets and horse issue. But he clearly said in the foreign policy debate that they use less of bayonets and horses.
But they still get issued bayonets in a rifle. Well, most if you're in the Marines especially.
Well, Marines especially, yes, they do get issued bayonets. But again, his remarks were condescending and childish, and that's why people started jumping on it, because he didn't come off educated on the foreign policy.
It was
in that
his
area.
demeanor that brought the whole conversation down. I agree.
Which is bad. I don't think he won anybody in that foreign policy debate.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. Libya. I'm sorry I'm bringing it back up, but I'll bring it up every show until I start getting results. Here recently, emails have been released that were sent to the White House within 2 hours of the incident of a terrorist group claiming responsibility for said attack. Okay. Now, Susan Rice goes on that Sunday, 5 talk shows, talked about it being a video.
You mean the chicken hen show, The View?
Yeah. No, not The View, but she went on 5 newscast shows and claimed it was the video's fault and that there was no evidence as to it being a terrorist attack or a spontaneous, or not, she called it a spontaneous event, but a pre-planned attack. Okay, so more and more information is coming out from the State Department that these emails were sent to the White House within 2 hours, that the consulate was telling Washington that they were worried about the uprising of Al-Qaeda in Libya, and nothing was done. So today I sent an email to the White House and requested the resignation of both Susan Rice, Hillary Clinton, and Jay Carney.
Wait, so you sent an email today to the White House?
I sent an email today to the White House.
So that's why there's a drone flying outside
there probably
the
is
window.
a drone, so if the show goes blank, I'm probably blown up. But I sent the video today, or the email today, asking the White House for their resignations.
Okay.
If Hillary Clinton, which I think she has now just destroyed her political future in the world by taking the credit for the screw-ups of this Libya incident.
But her husband, Bill Clinton, has came back and, in her defense, has kind of put Obama down in one of his campaign speeches that he was talking about.
Because he realizes Obama threw Hillary under the bus. And made Hillary take the blame.
And I actually commend him for that, because you don't mess with somebody's wife.
Well, you don't mess with Bill Clinton.
Well, yeah, you definitely
if anything goes against the Clintons, you don't mess with them. That's the one thing. It's like George Bush and don't mess with Texas.
We got a question in the chat room. Why are you calling for Susan Rice's
I'm requesting all 3 of their resignations for the clear misrepresentation given to the American people on the attack in Benghazi. Plain and simple. All 3 went out, and regardless of if they were told to do it by the president or not, they all went out and misrepresented the facts that were out there. Plain and simple.
Okay. Is that it? I mean, I can beat this horse into the ground. I don't appreciate the lying. If you made a mistake, come out and say. Look at Ronald Reagan in the 80s when he shipped those weapons over to Iraq at the time, and he was like, look, okay, we lied, we made a mistake, I take full responsibility. And what happened? His approval rating went up because people realized what kind of a person he is. I bet if Obama came out and said, look, America, as the president of the United States of America, I have made a mistake, we misled you on this information, I bet you his approval ratings would go up.
But he still hasn't.
He hasn't. No, that's the question. Will, you have something over there?
Well, I was also going to mention too that in our chat room, Derek Jones, the question goes to you, Jason. Why are you calling for Susan Rice resignation?
Which I explained.
Which you did explain. He just basically put, but she is the U.S. ambassador to the UN. She can be replaced.
They can all be replaced. That thing. They can all be replaced. Plain and simple. And I'm surprised Hillary Clinton hasn't already turned in her resignation. I mean, she's not serving a second.
Will not be there.
Do what?
Yeah, what you're about to say. Yeah.
Correct. She's already stated she will not serve under the Obama administration if he wins the second term. So she's already leaving. I'm surprised she hasn't already said, you know what? And I'm really surprised she's taking the fall for this, because knowing the Clintons, they'll throw it out there. They'll do anything to protect themselves. I'm surprised that she's taking the credit for the misrepresentation that's come out from this administration on an incident that killed 4 American lives. But yes, they can all be replaced. What else you got?
Okay, well, the thing that the point that Jason's trying to make with her is the fact that she was, I guess, the messenger.
Susan Rice. Is that okay?
She was the messenger.
Yes.
And I know we say don't shoot the messenger, but at the same time, we're talking serious stuff here. We're talking about 4 people's lives, and you willingly go out there knowing, because there's no way she did not know.
Correct.
I mean, I don't know. I'm just disappointed 4 people are dead, and now we're still.
And now they're saying, well, the Obama administration didn't know that they were requesting extra security. They didn't know that this consulate had already had previous attacks earlier that year. But you know what? If President Obama actually sat down with his Security Council and met like he was supposed to, maybe he would know this information. But he's too busy about his damn re-election that the safety and security, whether it's foreign or abroad, has been jeopardized.
Yeah. Agreed. I'm going to pull up. Let's go into the election coming up.
The election coming up. So, Okay, good. New poll numbers have come out. The Associated Press released a poll today saying that it's pretty much a basic tie. They got Romney with 47%, Obama with 45%. It's within the margin of error, which is 4%. Okay, it's a basic tie. But here's some of the numbers that no one's talking about, which I think is extremely important. Romney leads Obama in double digits when it comes to the man vote. Romney has just closed a 16-point gap favor for Obama with women and brought it back to a virtual tie, 47 to 47%. You know, the women vote is extremely important to the Barack Obama re-election. So with all these poll numbers coming out, it looks like Romney's still driving that momentum train. It hasn't stopped, and he's starting to pick up.
Okay. Now, with that being said, why was Paul Ryan in states that don't matter? The last few days and today and tomorrow. I mean, he was in Georgia.
That's a lack of. That falls on the campaign. Just a lack of, organizing of who should be where.
Well, it's funny because it's like the campaign tweeted out that they've raised $112 million.
And 2 weeks in October.
Right. And now they got they got Paul Ryan out there campaigning like Georgia, Alabama, I think either North or South Carolina. And it's like, okay, you're getting all this money, and I understand you want more. That's fine. But you got 12 days to go to spend all that money. Let's get you in Ohio.
Correct.
You know, we need Ohio right now if you want to win it.
Looking at some of the comments here, people are saying that political polls are BS and everything. And I would probably agree with you if we're talking about a 4-point change, but we're talking about a 16-point change.
Yeah.
And it's just not the AP poll. It's the Rasmussen poll. It's every poll that's coming out showing this lead towards Romney. So I would take it a little bit to face credit that he is definitely closing that gap between him and President Obama in this re-election.
Okay. Do you care about Colin Powell today? Did you hear the news on him?
No.
He supported Obama in 2008. Came out today and said that I support Obama again, and that Mitt Romney scares me when it comes to the economy and foreign affairs. I know that's kind of throwing you off there, but to me personally, it's like, okay, good for you.
Well, Colin Powell served under President George W. Bush. I respect his thought process, except when it comes to this. I don't see what he's seeing. If you look at the numbers, I don't understand why he's going with that type of statement.
Well, I like this one picture. It says a colon is always located right between the anus, and it has a picture of Obama and Colin Powell standing together. So, I just thought that was interesting, and it doesn't really affect the base, and I just find it, why are they pushing it out there so much?
Correct.
Is Obama grasping at straws now to prove to everybody that, look, I got a Republican that supports me, and I don't even think Colin Powell was 100% Republican to begin with.
Yeah, he wasn't. No. Colin Powell's definitely moderate. He's great on foreign policy, though. I mean, he's very smart when it comes to that.
Mm-hmm. Which scares me when he says Obama does a better job. It's like, all right, go ahead.
Let's look at some of the swing states and the numbers that are coming out as far as the polling goes, even though everybody thinks it's BS. Let's just look at them and throw them out there, and let's see what people think. Florida. I'm predicting Florida will definitely go towards Romney. Romney is now polling in Florida, pulling ahead in front of Obama in Florida, 51% to 46%. What's your viewpoint? Romney take Florida?
Oh, I think he has Florida.
I think he does too. I think he's got it wrapped up.
I've talked to people who do phone banking. They live in Georgia, but phone bank in Florida.
Okay.
And they've just been pounding it. And same thing with Ohio.
Here's the state that both candidates have kind of written off. Like, Obama's not even pursuing it anymore. North Carolina. The polls in North Carolina, again, Romney's ahead, 52% to 46%. I think Romney takes North Carolina.
That's an interesting one. I would be surprised if Obama wins many South states, and I don't think he will.
I don't think he will either. All right, moving on.
And not as a racist term or anything like that, just because I think it's a strong Republican hold in the South.
Correct. So both those states lean Romney. Now,
sorry.
Go ahead, Davis.
Well, I don't want to interrupt your process on this topic, but I got something to share with y'all.
If it's Reading Rainbow, I'm going to hit you.
No, it's not Reading Rainbow.
Okay.
But I actually have a question for both y'all. Did y'all hear about the Donald Trump?
Oh, yeah, I'm going to get into that.
We're going to get to that. Y'all keep jumping. We're in polling right now.
We're talking about Jason's poll, okay?
Yeah, my big polls that are going around. Okay.
But I was also going to let you know, too, that Navy SEAL groups will air a anti-Obama ads. And that's actually coming up.
So coming up in the show, we have some other things that Will Davis wants to interrupt our polling about.
I know. Hold that thought.
We'll get to it.
Jesus loves little children.
Wait, the one important poll that I'm worried about, California. Does Obama get it?
No. Oh, yeah, right? No, he loses California to Mitt Romney. My ass. All right, Virginia. This is a toss-up state. Romney's pulling ahead 50% to Obama's 47%. Mm-hmm. Okay? Any thoughts on that? I think Virginia will go to Romney.
Okay. I'm bad about individual states. I'm not good at that.
All right, here's the big one.
Okay.
This is one that all the media is talking about. Ohio. Will the election for the President of the United States 2012 come down to Ohio?
What's the number showing at right now?
The numbers are showing a dead even tie at 48% each.
I think Romney's going to get it.
I think he's going. You think Ohio will pull?
I would put Ohio in Romney's corner. I personally think Romney's going to win with 60 electoral college votes.
Okay, good. I don't think it's going to be as...
I think he's going to landslide this.
You kind of sounded like Dick Morris a little bit. Dick Morris thinks he's going to win in a landslide with Romney pulling in over 300 electoral college votes, which I just, at this time, I don't see.
What is there, 500 something? Or something like
it's 270 to win the election.
Okay.
But the what it boils down to is I think it's going to be close to what people think. Mm-hmm. I think Romney wins 278 to 260. It takes 270 to win the presidency of the United States. So I'm picking Romney to win by 18 electoral votes.
Okay, excuse my ignorance here for a second. Is there a big car company or a big in Ohio? Do they have?
They have a car company. Yes.
A manufacturing company.
Yes.
Okay, that's what scares me.
Yeah, because Obama's pulling out, I say, the auto industry.
Yeah.
Again, he misled the people in the foreign policy debate when it came to Mitt Romney telling them to file bankruptcy with no government assistance or help, which is not what Romney said. But he did want them to go through the bankruptcy process because that would eliminate liabilities or money they don't have issues, and they could really take full advantage of that government assistance to bail them out.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the only reason why I would say Ohio would go to Obama is because of the factories out there.
And the other two that are coming out right now is, and I'll be done with my poll, Nevada. Obama still got the lead there, 50% to 48%. But keep in mind, their unemployment rate is 12.8% in Nevada. Mm-hmm. And with Nevada, you have Las Vegas. Well, remember when Barack Obama became president in 2008, what did he say? Don't visit Vegas.
Oh, yeah.
You know, he's tired of all these corporations that, you know, if y'all receive bells, don't go to Vegas. Don't fly in your private jets to Vegas. So maybe that will turn on him in this election. I don't know.
As of August 12th, Obama has visited 24 times to Ohio. Right, Henley? Is that what you're talking about? Just to make sure. So that's a good number of times. But it's a good swing state.
Well, they're both pulling hard in Ohio. And again, that's where
So why the hell is Paul Ryan in damn Georgia and not Ohio?
But again, it comes down to where's Obama's face and where's Romney's face. Those are the two people running for president. Not Paul Ryan, not Joe Biden.
I know, but they bring out the crowds. Well, Biden doesn't.
All right, last state. Again, I'm going to call this one towards Romney. I think he will take Colorado. He is leading right now, President Obama, 50% to 46%. Okay. But the polling numbers that are coming are definitely pushing Romney in the right direction to become the next president of the United States.
And then I see he has the whole left side, Obama.
Yeah, well, Obama's definitely got Washington, Oregon, California, Hawaii. Huh? New Mexico, again, you know, Romney started pulling the numbers there, but yes, Obama's got the bigger lead there in New Mexico. He'll get Illinois. Wisconsin was another state that they thought right now still toss up. Romney's definitely pulling within the margin of error in Wisconsin and Iowa. Okay. It's again dead even race.
Okay, well, we appreciate that. Like I said, what do you think? Do you have it on Obama or Romney? If so, what number are you giving them?
As far as
who's going to win?
Romney will win with 278 electoral college votes.
Romney 278.
That's my prediction. And if the poll numbers keep showing this within the next week, Romney will probably, could land in a landslide. I don't think it's going to be a Dick Morris, over 300 type landslide. But again, the poll numbers are all pushing towards Romney's ultimate win for the presidency. Mm-hmm. Again, if y'all have any comments or questions, please call in 678-395-8609. What else we got? Let's talk about this.
Well, we're going to go and talk about. I can't even believe we're talking about it, but it's newsworthy and it needs to be brought up because I have had arguments, even though I don't agree with it. But Donald Trump has a video.
Donald Trump, he loves to be in the spotlight.
That's all. I'm just like, okay, go sit down, go. But let's just play a little bit.
Let's
of
play this video
of
his big speech that he apparently had. Play that video.
President Obama is the least transparent president in the history of this country. There's never been anything like it. We know very little about our president. I'm very honored to have gotten him to release his long-form birth certificate, or whatever it may be. Now, many people have questions, and very serious questions. I have a deal for the president, a deal that I don't believe he can refuse, and I hope he doesn't. If Barack Obama opens up and gives his college records and applications, and if he gives his passport applications and records, I will give to a charity of his choice, Inner City Children in Chicago, American Cancer Society, AIDS research, anything he wants.
Okay,
hold on.
Immediately for $5 million.
All right, you can stop it there.
The check will be given within 1 hour.
Look at that. Within 1 hour, Donald Trump will write a check for $5 million to President Obama's charity of choice.
Okay. I brought this up because there's one interesting fact that people didn't notice. And he says, inner school children and people with AIDS and all this. And somebody came up to me who was black and said, do you not think that's offensive? Assuming that Obama is going to give the money to those specific Chicago inner school children.
Listen, no, it's a charity of choice, and he brought up other charities like the AIDS research.
Oh, okay, I know, but it was interesting because they were like, "Well, Mark, how would it feel if said, Mr. President, Mark Gorman, I'll give money to the Potato Foundation? How would that make you feel?" Like, actually, that would kind of irritate me to assume that I'm going to donate to an Irish foundation just because I'm Irish.
I didn't take it like that.
Oh, it's just
it's a good observation as what someone else thinks.
I'm telling you what black Democrats are thinking of the video when I ask them.
Yeah, but black Democrats don't like Donald Trump. Black Democrats don't like their own black people, which is Herman Cain.
Yeah. Well,
did you not find it offensive when the NCAA was sitting there making fun of Herman Cain and the things they were calling him?
But I did ask that person. I said, "But wouldn't you give that money to the people you support
yes.
and love?" She's like, "Yeah." I was like, so what's so wrong in suggesting?
I see what they're saying. I guess it could come off a little bit of offensive on that end, but again, he was speaking in charities in general.
Yeah.
And that charity he described is a charity. It's a real charity out there. Again, does Obama take him up on his $5 million? Mm-hmm. Hell, I'll release my high school transcript for $5.
Yeah, but nobody cares.
I know.
I just wanted to bring that up. I mean, I didn't want to.
Well, you got to talk about it though now. Does Obama take it?
No, of course not. Nobody's going to take it serious. It's going to be written off.
But if Obama's okay, and he didn't apply for any type of foreign student aid, which would really hurt him if he did, right? Mm-hmm. If he didn't do any of that, why wouldn't you take Donald on his offer? $5 million to the charity of your choice. I'm just saying.
I'm lost in words.
But it is Donald Trump. I mean, when I found out he was going to run for the president, I was like, God, no.
I'm glad he did.
I'm glad he stayed. I'm glad he didn't either. But Donald Trump's been big on a birther with the birth certificate of Barack Obama. He's big on finding out about his college transcripts, and this is just a ploy by Donald Trump to get his name back out there.
Do I think Obama was born out of America? No, I really think he was born in America. But did he put down that he wasn't born out of America to take advantage of programs? I think that's possible. I think there's a good chance that Obama said, "Oh yeah, I was born in a different country just so he can take advantage." Sure, I can believe that, but I do believe he was born in America. I mean, what difference does it take?
Well, it doesn't matter now. He's been president for 4 fucking years. Yeah. Oh, I shouldn't have said that word.
All right, Bob Beckel.
Yeah, I needed my swear jar. I did not mean to throw out the F word. I could throw out the bitch and ass and all that, but I'm not. I really threw out that F word big time. Will, what's your opinion on this?
Well, another thing too, speaking of the birth certificate and all that, the United States presidency has a huge application, and within that application, I'm sure the Secret Service, CIA and other entities looks into those applications. But I also know too that with it being the government entity, they look at the people and for the people, and if they were to turn away his application, I could kind of think of various comments would be said for that, and I don't know. I just think as a public figure, if someone as a citizen is asking for a document of this public figure, I think they should be able to say, "Hey, look, here it is." I mean,
well, it's just like they asked Romney for his tax returns because they wanted like 20 years worth of his tax returns, and nobody, they all got offended when they were asking for Obama's college transcripts. I want to hit a few points on here.
We just
M. Henley 20, real quick. It would make it invalid, but the federal government would never, even if they proved that Barack Obama was not born in the United States, right? The government would never allow that to come public. That would be the biggest fraud in American history.
Yeah, it's like many things. I mean,
and Derek Jones says he would never have been allowed to run if he wasn't. Did they check all that when you ran for office?
Nope. Nobody ever asked me if I was an American citizen when I ran for office.
That's funny. You didn't have to prove it?
Nope. Did not have to prove that I was a citizen.
So that's been debunked. What's next?
I really...
now that we're past Trump.
Will, what was this military thing you were talking about?
Yeah, pull up some of your issues you have there.
Well,
Sorry.
He's got issues.
No, I'm laughing here. It says bigger than the Great Turkey Scare of '76. I don't know what that's from, but thank you. Go on.
I was just basically mentioning on U.S. News, they were talking about a Navy SEAL group will air anti-Obama ads during Harvey Weinstein's SEAL Team 6 film. A group of Republican-leaning Navy SEALs is battling with movie models and Democrats for voters' attention November 4th, just 2 days away from Election Day. So it kind of goes back to what I was saying. I would kind of like to hear from a military point of view,
Well, the military, Obama has to know that the military definitely swings Republican in almost every debate. I don't see Obama getting that big of a military vote. This reminds me of, remember when John Kerry ran for office, or what was that, the group that came about, the veteran boats or something like that?
I don't know.
I can't remember off the top of my head, but they ran a lot of ads against John Kerry on his flip-flopping issues, and they were very effective. So we'll see if this has any play. Again, I think whether you're Democrat or Republican, you stand behind the military. I don't think Barack Obama by any means wants the demise of our military. It scares me with his nuclear cutbacks. Mm-hmm. Taking us from being a nuclear power of the world and pretty much cutting us back all the way to what third countries might have. Mm-hmm. But I don't see Barack Obama not being behind the military 100%. What else?
Oh, I was just reading through here as well. Just looking at Washington Post endorsements for Obama again.
Yeah, no surprise. No surprise there.
And then
Obama will pick up all the media outlets except for Fox News. Now to stick with Romney. Or usually that's how it leans. To the left.
It always leans to the left.
Always leans to the left.
I wonder why.
And also, I was going to let y'all know too, for what I was just reading here, and it's just amazing, is the Obama re-election campaign and its supporters spent $77 million on 112,000 advertisements from October 1st to October 21st. And that's according to the Wesley Media Project, which tracks and analyzes political ad spending nationwide.
I think President Obama will deplete his funds before Romney does. I think Romney's going to come out strong in the last week of the election, pushing as much money as possible against President Obama. But I think President Obama has really thrown out a good bit or a good chunk of his money that he had on these campaign ads. That's my personal opinion.
I went blank here. Go on, take it somewhere else, because I was trying to think of an issue that you would have liked to talk about.
Well, let me just hit this up real quick. Again, I'm Jason Leach with politicallyscrewed.com. You can find all of us at Town2weekly.com. Great website, getting updated. You can follow Gorman here at facebook.com/tabnow. Please follow that.
Call in.
Call in.
678-395-8609. We always love your comments.
I want the Obama callers.
Yes.
Please call in 678-395-8609. Why are you voting for this man? What does he have to really run on?
And if you're watching this show recorded, you shouldn't be. We have a very active chat room going on, and you should be involved. We take a lot of feedback from the chat room, and it's very fun.
All right, Davis, do we have anything in the chat room asking any questions?
Well, Derek Jones just basically put, Mark, I just feel that someone has to approve the candidates to run for office, even when Obama first ran for office.
No, they didn't check George W. Bush's status. They didn't check Bill Clinton's status, which I think is wrong. I think all of them, I think he brings up a good point. All should be checked. If you have to meet the requirements to run for that office, you should provide those documentations to the appropriate people to make sure everything's in order. Again, I'm not a birther. Gorman's not a birther.
No,
we're not on the train of show me your birth certificate.
I believe he was born in America. Did he use the fact that he was a citizen to benefit college? Maybe, I don't know.
Obama's not going to lose because he's not born here. Obama's going to lose because of his policies in the last 4 years. And that's what we need to focus on. My brother and I went and early voted, as you know. He had a little argument with his girlfriend on how he voted, but my brother said, I didn't vote for Romney. I voted for policy. Mm-hmm. Again, we get that confused. Even when we sit here and talk about it, we talk about President Barack Obama and we talk about Governor Romney.
Right.
But you're not voting for that person. You're voting for their policies they want to put in place.
Right.
And who's got the better plan to bring America forward for the next 4 years.
I agree. Now, did we cover everything in the debate that we were going to talk about?
I think we covered almost everything in the debate. Again, it was very boring.
Well, it was boring for that. But overall, I think Romney did what he needed to do. We covered that. What you got, Will?
Laura just basically put, how do you feel about Colin Powell endorsing Obama?
Oh, we actually covered that issue a little bit earlier. How do you feel about Colin Powell? It doesn't matter. He supported him in 2008. He supports him now. It's not going. If he came out and said, "I'm now supporting Mitt Romney, the Republican candidate. I no longer support Obama," that would have been more of an issue. That would have been a bigger deal because it's like, okay, wait. So you lost faith in Obama? Is that why you're quitting on him?
But Colin Powell also was, again, like we discussed, he was a moderate person even under the Bush administration.
Now, Taylor wants us to talk about House of Representatives' son getting busted for giving tips on how to commit voter fraud. And you put that up, didn't you, on one of the links on our Town2weekly Facebook?
No, I didn't do the one on this one. I did the one on the letters that were sent from Seattle to Florida. Again, those letters were sent to both Republican and Democratic voters questioning their citizenship, saying that they would be taken off the voter registry. It's just this stuff start popping up more types of voter fraud. I also posted a video of a son of a candidate on a Democratic side in an office that's pushing the Barack Obama re-election as well as his father's re-election, assisting somebody on how to defraud the voting system and vote multiple times under somebody else's name using fake utility bills. And that's also posted on there. Again, both the right and left, it's coming out in both directions. Of course, they said, Mitt Romney, brother, right? Or son?
I honestly don't know.
It's his son, I believe. That put together these voting machines, and now they want to bring the United Nations in, for God's sakes. Are you serious? The United Nations, the one place that hates America with no end, and you want to bring them in to run our election.
People get mad that we go over to other countries to try and dictate what they should do, but they always are willing to say, no, let that, Kazakhstan people come over, the people from UN come over and view our voting process. It's like, at what point are we going to say, you know what, let's leave the Middle East alone, let's leave the other countries alone, and let them leave us alone. Okay? If we don't trust our government, well, damn it, we need to stand up and do something about it.
Well, they want to make sure there's no voter suppression. I'm asking for people to go out there and report any type of voter fraud, regardless of if it helps the Republicans or hurts Democrats or vice versa. Any type of voter suppression should be brought out to the public's view and opinion. So but I don't think we need the UN to dictate how our voting goes here.
Okay. I agree with you.
What else you got? What else are they saying?
Well, I do have various questions out here. M. Henley 20 is basically asking, how do you feel, you guys feel about internet voting?
No.
And whether...
Well, what issue am I dodging? I'll answer an issue. I just didn't see. I can't read the chat room as fast as anybody else.
Well, they're coming. The comments are coming in so fast. They're scrolling up. You can't read everything. Keep telling me about the online voting. No. What's the rest of that question?
Basically, is saying and whether that will or won't become an issue.
What?
As far as the voting.
No internet. No internet.
Well,
internet voting.
Okay. Do you think the UN will increase voter fraud? No, I don't think the UN will do. I don't think it will have any effect at all. I mean, they can't. All they will do is stand there and watch us vote. I mean, what are they going to do? They're going to stand. Oh, sir, wait, you're committing voter fraud. I mean, how do you prove it? You can't just stand there and watch. I mean, are they going to come up and watch you punch the name in?
I'm so sick of this voter fraud crap. Okay, yeah, is voter fraud out there? Yes. If you're found, with voter suppression or voter fraud, should you be prosecuted? Yes.
Yeah.
But every election it comes up.
Yeah.
Remember the whole 2000 George Bush stole Florida?
Yeah.
To win the presidency? Yeah, that one. Then in 2004 again, more voter fraud. Then in 2008, voter fraud again. It's just like, this is the basic excuse every single election. Is it going to happen? Yes. But we don't need some United Nations who hate us sitting there and trying to dictate if we're following the rules and guidelines.
Yeah.
Perfect. Guys, just to let y'all know, we do have a caller, Derek Jones.
All right, great.
All right. Hold on
It's our usual caller. He's our moderate liberal. Derek.
Yeah.
Welcome. You need to turn that volume up.
Yeah, we can barely hear you. It's not your fault, Derek. It's our producer.
Derek, you still there?
Okay.
All right. What do you got?
All right. Well, a couple things. Like, just as I feel like you don't quite understand how the UN really does work. You've been calling for, that if the UN comes in to monitor elections, that they're not around them and everything. First of all, the UN can't do anything without either a resolution, which the U.S. would have to approve of,
correct,
or the host country's agreement.
But let's get down to this aspect.
And for the U.S.,
Derek,
they can't do anything unless the U.S. says, "Come on in."
Derek, do you want the United Nations overseeing our elections?
What? Sorry, the phone's choppy.
Yep, I already called on that issue before. Can you advise if you want the United Nations overseeing our elections? What's your feeling on it? Besides the rules that are out there, what's your feeling on that?
Honestly, I don't think we need it because while there is voter fraud, it's not as rampant as other places in the world.
Thank you. That's all I'm saying.
You have different countries where, like, you go to the polling place, you're dipping your finger in ink so they know that you voted. Well, there's also going to be a guy with a nice little AK-47 standing outside urging you to vote for his candidate. You don't have that here. Yeah, you have, a fist fight here, a fist fight there, or something stupid along those lines. But it's not every single locality.
Correct. And do you not agree that the voter fraud happens on both ends, both the Republican side and Democrat side?
Oh yeah, all the time. You've got the right now, like you were talking about earlier, with the letters from Seattle going to likely Republican voters in Florida. And you've got a decently long history with Republicans, what were Democrats who've now turned to Republicans in the American South. Basically intimidating the minority vote to where basically it was a return to the landed aristocracy only being able to vote.
Real quick, Derek. Now, I think voter fraud is an issue, but what Derek said, it's not a rampant issue. There's a little bit of a difference. Jason, what was your opinion on that one? Did you say it was an issue or a ramp? I know he said it's not a rampant. It's not a rampant issue. Why do I think that voter ID is important? Because it proves that you're the one who voted.
Well, it proves that you're a citizen voting.
What's so wrong with that? I don't see why you don't. What's wrong with needing an ID? Derek, I want to hear what Derek has to say. Derek, how do you feel about voter ID?
I don't agree with it because now that the elections are electronic, you know, like I did the early voting too. You walk up, you give them your information, and they type you down, you know, and like they make sure that you're voting at the correct location. You go, you stick in your card, you vote, and it gets sent elsewhere. Okay, so long as I don't try to go back and revote, there, you know, there's no way. Like I have to have been on the in the catalog essentially beforehand.
But that's not
so
that's not in all states.
The IDs, I'm not saying it's necessarily entirely bad, but it can be like getting back to, you know, you have to pass a literacy test. Well, who's to say that, you know, I mean, we've all been to the DMV, you go, and it's your entire day. There's some people who, A, can't financially do it because, you know, they're not making enough money, or because of health reasons.
But poor people can prove that they're poor to the DMV and they'll get their license for free. So where's the issue of poor people paying for their driver's license? It's suppressing the poor vote. I don't get that.
I'm not saying that the issue is paying for the driver's license. I'm saying it's the time spent and the economic loss of getting it in terms of time that you could have been working. Because the DMV is, what, 95, maybe?
Correct. But you know, not all states operate the same way as the state of Georgia that you voted in.
Right.
And I've been voting in Georgia since I was 18. I've always been required to show an ID, and I've never had an issue with it. I don't understand what the issue is with showing an ID, proving that you are the voter that's going to place that vote.
Okay, well, how about this? I walked in, you showed me after your ID, and I said that's not valid. What legal recourse do you have to say you're voting on election day?
Well, they give you
You can walk in, and because police, you know, are not at all the voting locations, you walk in and say 4 o'clock, polls close at 5. Oh, I'm sorry, you know, say you look like, you know, someone that I suspect would vote for Romney.
Yeah,
okay?
but
if I say, well, your voter ID is not valid, you know, sorry, you can't vote. That's a way of manipulating voter turnout and voter, you know, who people are getting votes from.
Well, real quick. 2 points that you made that I want to point out. First of all, they won't know who you're voting for because you have to present the ID before you even say that you don't even get a Republican Democrat ballot.
Not in the state of Georgia, you don't register a party.
Well, okay, so
okay. Well, I was trying to avoid saying this. Okay, I walked in. I'm a black man. Who do you think I'm voting for?
Well, that doesn't matter. There's a lot. Because there's a lot of black people out there that are actually going to vote for President Romney. Romney is not a total 0% of black people voting for him. There are black people out there that will vote for Romney. So that's a miscalculation.
I agree with that. But
so, well, let me get to the second point. Hold on, wait.
Of the African American population would probably side with not Romney, Obama.
Okay.
I don't disagree with you on that. I can respect that opinion. Now the second thing was there is a clause. If you can't prove your ID, you get a you still get a ballot.
You still get to vote. Yep.
You still get to vote, and then you have 30 days to prove. I think it's 30 days, 15 days to prove that was really you who voted. You have to sign an affidavit, or go to the bank and get a witness signature saying that this is you signing it. This is you voting. So they do have different implications out there.
Derek,
yeah, that does resolve a lot of the issues, but it's kind of the same fear that's always been there for absentee voting. It's not going to actually get it counted. Because if you go back to the 2000 election, it's so close. Well, who say that, like 1 or 2 votes don't get misplaced, and it can throw an entire election. I'm not saying like the entire presidential election, but, Mark, you know this from your, run for office. A couple votes here and there, it makes all the difference.
Okay. Well, we got limited time now, so we appreciate you calling in, Derek, as always.
Always. Enjoy, guys.
Thanks.
Okay, we got about 6 minutes left here. Any closing ideas, arguments? I mean, how do you feel?
We're getting close to this election. I'm waiting to see. Again, I'm just watching the poll numbers come in every day to see who's up, who's down, who's gaining traction, who's not. I'm not sitting here saying when I discussed all these poll numbers earlier, I'm not sitting here discussing that these are accurate 100%. But I'm looking for the trends. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When you take down a 16-point lead that Obama had when it came to the woman vote, that's a big trend. That's not just not little small numbers, but that's a big trend. And we'll see what happens. This election is so what's the one I'm looking for? So high strung that people are not talking to families. They're not talking to friends because of who you're voting for. I've never seen this in my, since I've been voting since I was 18. I've never seen this type of hostility in the air.
That has personally affected me too, and I hate it. Because I have a lot of Democrat friends, and especially my girlfriend, and we just don't agree. But we have learned to get along with each other. And she said, "Look, let's just drop it for now, and then we can work on meeting in the middle after this election."
But why is it causing so much hostility? I've never seen it before on both ends.
One argument I got in with somebody and it was a friend of mine, and it was funny. He got mad at me because I kept saying, "Well, why don't you like Bush?" Because he didn't like everybody. I was like, "Well, why don't you like him?" I'm like, "Here, I'm telling you why I don't like Obama. I'm telling you specific reasons. All you're saying is you don't like Bush. Tell me why."
It's kind of like the Romney too. I don't like Romney. Why? Well, I don't like him.
Because he's not Obama? I mean, give me some facts and at least give me a good reason why you don't like him.
At least let me know that you know the policies of the person you're voting for.
But just because you're saying what you've heard and what other people have told you.
Well, here's the thing, folks. If you're dealing with friends or family that is becoming hostile because of who, each one of y'all are going to vote for different people, calm down. Regardless if Obama gets office for 4 more years or if Romney takes the presidential office, America is going to pull together like we always do, and we're going to move forward. So everybody just needs to calm down. That's my last word.
I'm with you, Jason. I don't have so much of a last word, but what do you think they're going to do with that $112 million that they just raised? I mean, they just need
the Romney campaign.
Yeah, they need pump ads.
They're going to be. I'm telling you, they're waiting for that last week, and he's going to unleash the treasure chest.
Have you received any local political ads?
No, I haven't.
I have received tons of them, and I want to burn them all.
But I live up there in Calville, so.
Well, I've received more political ads from my opponent during my race with him. And it's funny, the things he's saying about the other guy, I'm like, well, wait, you represent everything bad you're talking about.
Correct.
So I'll bring some in. Next time so we can go over and talk about them because, we try and I know we've been doing a lot of national stuff, but we need to go locally. We need to talk about more local
Well, you know me, I'm a national guy. I think it paints the bigger picture of how we get affected, even locally, how we get affected.
Yeah.
But again, guys, thanks for joining Town2weekly. Please follow us. Follow Mark Gorman at facebook.com/tabnow. Follow me at politicallyscrewed.com. Subscribe to us. We're on here at least every Monday and sometimes more than that a week.
Yeah, we try and come in at least 2-3 times a week just to kind of get fresh ideas and out there so we're not waiting a whole week and miss out on topics. Please, next time, call in 678-395-8609. We appreciate you coming into the chat room. It keeps the show going, keeps us fresh.
And we'll be here next Monday, folks. We're very close to the election. We'll have our final says, coming up before the election. So please join us again here at Town2weekly.
Thanks, guys. Take care.
Thank you for joining us today, and hopefully to see you next Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And please don't forget to subscribe below.
Okay, good. Well.